like when this team, the Miami Heat, get 11 threes, they're usually...
Green's pass is deflected underneath, trying to find Moody. Miami with that Sunday win here against the Charlotte Hornets. And meantime, this Golden State team on this really long 6-game, 13-day trip. This is only his emotions on his sleeve. We know about his closeness with Jimmy Butler. And there he is, Adebayo exploding to the cup.
And he took a shot, Draymond Green, to the face as he was trying to go get that loose ball.
Charlotte. Kalel Ware, beautifully set up by Adebayo.
You see how high Bam had to throw the ball because it looked like Draymond Green was going to come up with another steal.
Jimmy Butler gets his first take of the night. All right, so Lefko has made his bold prediction.
Well, I will say this for Andrew Wiggins. He is coming off 2 back-to-back really good games. Remember, he missed 9 games.
From the three-point line. And the basketball is going to stay here with Golden State.
But I will say this, Sparrow, all 5 have been great three-point looks. And this is what Steve Kerr told us about Jimmy Butler, about him making all the right plays. Can't turn the basketball over, especially on the road, and especially without a Stephen Curry.
Pick and roll action out of Bayo to the cup, the tip, no. And then it's going to be last touch by Draymond Green. And Miami's going to get a fresh in this first quarter, just underway for Miami. Alec Burks with Podziemski on his hip. Nice little bounce feed out of Bayo, no basket. You're right, travel.
Drag that pivot foot. How about the swarming defense here?
Over it. Aaron pass, Payton able to get it back. Attacks. Green, corner 3, short. Payton keeps it alive again. But Buddy Hield unable to shear players in three-point percentage by a significant margin. Jonathan Kuminga has checked in as well for the Heat, for the Warriors. As we hit the midway point of the quarter, Butler sizes up Burks. The second shot clock violation forced by Miami.
And this shows you how one player affects your team. Now, when Curry's on the floor, there's so much attention garnered towards him. And a lot of these guys...
But some interesting comments indeed as Wiggins, good start, the tip, couple of chances at it. Miami comes up empty.
I'll always think of Jimmy Butler's tenure here when they were in the bubble in the finals and that exhausted look. Here's the dribble drive here by Post and the behind the back delivery to Santos. And he saw him cutting all the way. Almost got away with the travel, but beautiful pass there by Post. I believe they gave it to Santos. That's his first.
You mentioned Bam's numbers down a little bit. Last 7 games, he's under 15 points. But his three-point shooting has become more a part of his shooting.
There, you know, we couldn't make anything early, but we got a couple big shots from Guy. You know, Quentin Post came in, did a nice job. So our bench really kind of held down the fort. I know they scored a few at the end of that quarter, but I don't mind where we are.
Mitchell probing Butler on the defense. Here comes Anderson. Ware from deep. And that thing's tracked down to the corner by Highsmith. Shot clock resets. Blockbuster trade that really shook up the league and changed much of the landscape in the West on the 5th of February as Ware. Vicious two-handed floods in front of him.
35% shooting for the Warriors thus far in this first half.
Knew that this would be a potential struggle without Stephen Curry, but clearly having some offensive issues. Underneath, officials are going to get Santos here, I believe, on a reach-in. Good dive to the basket by Adebayo as Draymond sits. That's been the other fascinating part about this Jimmy Butler thing. You know, the two volatile personalities, how would they mesh? But boy, everything you see.
As a three-point shooter, this is a little off the dribble.
So Kevon Looney at the free throw line now for Steve Kerr, 10th year in the league. Not a great free throw shooter, 55% on the season.
Way to jinx him, Spiro. You didn't have to say that. Draymond Green, what were going to be the emotions for Jimmy Butler? Only
Let's check in with Taylor Rooks.
Thanks, Spiro. I chatted with Steve Kerr coming into this half, and I asked him about the Heat team defense and what's causing them issues. He said, well, we're not turning it over, but we're not generating much offensive rhythm. We're getting some good looks, but we got to knock.
Stepped into the starting lineup tonight with the absence of Curry, and just like that, it's a 15-point game.
Oh, what was Taylor talking about with Steve Kerr?
Leaded to him what has been a really rough 13-day trip. Here comes Wiggins, boy, trying to cock it back. A little bit of contact, no whistle. Twinkling lights downtown Miami. Jimmy Butler back in South Florida. First time since the blockbuster trade. Little quiet.
It was for everyone. Nice defensive effort here.
A 13-point deficit on a night in which they're playing without Stephen Curry. Reset Podziemski, 5 minutes.
And Tyler's been real quiet.
How do they finish this game against the shorthanded Warriors team, as we're going to get an offensive foul here?
And you're going to get Payton on that cross screen.
Offensive foul.
Officials are going to get Highsmith here. They say that he held up Green underneath.
That's a swipe by Anderson from behind. Kind of dropped the ball loose from post.
Eric Spoelstra, especially since the trade. On a Bayo, boy, trying to cock it back. Met at the summit by Hield. And Bam Adebayo to the free throw line. It's the second against Hield. Anderson underneath. Adebayo just so smart. Saw the contact coming. Flicks it up to the rim as he's going to get himself back to the free throw line with 8 and change left. And Miami restores order. It's back to 20 on TNT.
Revamped Miami Heat team, and it's Tyler Hero.
And the officials are going to say a kick. I mentioned the quirk in the schedule. Remember, the NCAA tournament right now is taking place this weekend out in San Francisco. So this is a trip that Steve Kerr and Golden State knew was coming. Jaime Jaquez getting his first run tonight for Miami. And so kind of an anticlimactic return for Jimmy Butler to Miami tonight.